Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to answer the question, can Kaspa be replicated? If you ever do have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments because I'll be happy to probably make a whole dedicated video to answer your question. So to answer this one, this answer pretty much is a yes and a no, but it just depends on what you mean by replicated. If we look, we can actually see that Kaspa has been replicated. Kaspa has been replicated into other hard forks because the code is completely open source. Recently, we've had some coins launch that are copycats of Kaspa's code, and these are the performances of these coins, which I highly discourage anyone from ever investing into hard forks of Kaspa, and I'm going to explain that why, but one of them is called Carlson. I actually did make a video about this, and I told you that it's probably going to have a nice little pump and then eventually look like a slide all the way down. And what do we know? That's what happened. Another one called Pyrin. I actually got questioned about this, and I'm basically going to kind of rephrase what I said when I answered this question, but someone asked me what I think about this coin. I seriously just don't have any interest in hard forks of Kaspa. And then this is a very recent one, which this one's a little bit interesting just because this one does not create a new mining algorithm where your KS0s or any of your Kaspa miners can't mine it. You can actually mine this coin with your Kaspa miners. I've had people tell me that they are mining this coin with their KS0s because supposedly it could be a little bit more profitable over here. But again, they're just swapping it back into Kaspa. At the end of the day, Kaspa is just going to kind of soak up the liquidity that is made from these coins because really Kaspa has first mover advantage. And ultimately, these coins make absolutely no sense. A lot of these coins are coming out and they're promoting that they're ASIC resistant, which we've talked about in the past, that ASIC resistant pretty much just doesn't exist and that they're only GPU mineable. But when you look at them, the fact that they're starting at these very high prices already tell you that there's probably some kind of allocations to the team, and it's really not a fair launch like Kaspa. So when it comes to replicating Kaspa's code in the network, yeah, totally, 100%. This can be replicated 1,000 times and it won't ever matter because Phantom Ghost Stag, which is the protocol that Kaspa runs currently, is open source. This is not licensed, this is not copyrighted, and this is the beauties of decentralized proof of work coins, that they're usually, or they're supposed to be, open source and allows anyone to go ahead and mess with the code and make their own coin. And also, all of the code of Kaspa is on GitHub. It is fully decentralized. It is not centralized. And you can analyze the code yourself and make sure that everything looks legit. This is the beauties of decentralization. But when it comes to replicating Kaspa itself, the narrative, the goals, and all that kind of stuff, I think it's too late to even try to do this. The reason being is you can never replicate the founder of Kaspa. I've said it many times in the past, but if you don't know, the founder of Kaspa goes all the way back more than 10 years ago with trying to implement protocols into Bitcoin itself to try to fix it. He's mentioned in the Ethereum white paper, and if you watch my video talking about Jonathan specifically, he's mentioned in a ton of different white papers of other different currencies. He's pretty much the reason why tons of different currencies exist today. You also can't replicate the other core developers and researchers that are a part of Kaspa. These people will just never leave to these other forks. They may be happy to help or assist, but I've seen some of them completely unhappy to help or assist because they just feel like they're dedicating all their time and effort to this coin, and then someone goes ahead and just copies it and tries to benefit off of it. Because truly, with Kaspa, it just doesn't make sense to copy and paste it. If you want to build a different coin for Kaspa, and a lot of times their pitch is that they're just going to bring smart contracts, it makes no sense. Why don't you just build it on Kaspa itself? And the worst part about it is forking Kaspa right now is you're forking an unfinished product. Kaspa has tons of things to come for it in its developments. If we go to the development area, you can see that we're still waiting for Dag Knight, which is going to be making history in the crypto space. when it comes to what this protocol will bring to the table, but basically allow the network to adjust itself on its own, basically have its own brain without ever having to intervene manually. We also are upgrading to the Rust coding language. We're also upgrading to 10 blocks per second to increase the block speeds. And all of these hard forks of Kaspa are just hard forking into the Golang coding language that is not better than Rust and is staying on 1 block per second. I wonder what they're going to do when Kaspa upgrades. Are they going to also try to hard fork themselves into these new upgrades that Kaspa does and just keep trying to benefit off of it? That's how I view hard forks on Kaspa. Just, it makes no sense. Why try to rush smart contracts on an unfinished product when you could just either help Kaspa build it right now or just be patient and wait for Kaspa to implement smart contracts on the network itself? Because smart contracts on Kaspa is not just going to be like any other smart contracts on any other platform on a proof of stake coin. The whole point is to implement a smart contract system that is innovative and is new and revolutionary, just like what has already been implemented on Kaspa with Phantom Ghost Stag and in the future Dag Knight, and with everything else Kaspa has already achieved so far. So at the end of the day, the answer to this is yes and no. It depends on what you define replicated. You can replicate the code and the network, but you just simply cannot replicate the core people behind Kaspa, the narratives behind it, and everything it's done so far. It has first mover advantage, and pretty much we already have examples of what happens to hard forks because we have Bitcoin, and typically Bitcoin has always outperformed every single hard fork that has ever existed for Bitcoin, and there's over 60 of them. So Kaspa is literally following in line with Bitcoin, having all of these hard forks come out, and literally a lot of these hard forks already tell you where the real value is, and that is Kaspa. They would not be hard forking Kaspa if Kaspa was a horrible coin or a horrible network. They're hard forking it because of the success that it's already gained and have. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And if you have not considered getting yourself a Tangent wallet, this is a good alternative to holding your coins on an exchange. If you don't already know, when you hold your coins on an exchange, the exchange has all control over your money. Holding on the Tangent wallet or on a Ledger device or on OneKey or any of the other self-custody solutions that I provide on this channel, that I recommend on this channel, you are much more secured and protected when you move your coins off the exchange. Please consider doing this so that you can self-custody your funds. You don't want to be in the situation where the exchange shuts down completely and then you're not able to recover your money ever. So please, please, please consider getting yourself a cold storage device. It doesn't even have to be Tangent. It can be any of the other things that I mentioned. There's some free options that I talk about on my channel, and there's also the paid options, which are more for cold storage devices. But if you use my code KaspaSilver at the checkout, you'll be able to get 10% off of Tangent here. So thank you guys so much again for watching. Please leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.